All right, guys, joining me at this time is the Guitar Hero himself, Mr. Justin James, brand new recipient of 50 G's in his wallet, man. A huge knockout the other day at UFC, what was it, Apex like 3. Frank Camacho, I mean, short notice fight. How was everything for you? It was a whole whirlwind of emotions for you, obviously, correct?
Yeah, man, I can't really describe in words the emotional ups and downs these last couple months have had, especially leading up to June 20th, man. Is the happiest moment, the best moment of my life by far. Nothing comes even close to it.
You and I talked a couple of months before you ever even made your debut a couple of weeks ago, and it was a situation where you were just kind of waiting in limbo. You had an opportunity to fight JaCarl Close on super very, very short notice. That didn't really come to fruition. This Frank Camacho fight, what was it that intrigued you about it and made you jump on it?
I jumped on the JaCarl fight. When the JaCarl fight was offered to me, I said, yes, let's go. And then my old manager
fell through.
Yeah, my old manager just said we'll find a better spot. So it wasn't even me turning down that fight. And I know a lot of people think I did, which I didn't. I'd love to fight JaCarl anytime, anywhere.
Yeah, you've said that multiple times.
So yeah, when Jason called, so I got a new manager in like February-ish, and he just kept on me, and the opportunity just presented itself on 20. It was like 30-hour notice. Came in, made weight, did the rest is history, man.
How was your weight leading up to it? Was it something that you kind of always knew in the back of your mind it could happen, so kind of just stay ready?
I mean, my weight just happened to be low, man. I remember the Monday before, me and my son went out to Cane's, we went out to Popeyes, and we were eating Popeyes chicken the Monday before, man. So I wasn't really dieting up for it.
It's definitely not a fight week meal.
Yeah, definitely not something we're eating for a fight. But, I just, after my training on Wednesday, I was under 170. And he called me late Wednesday night out of nowhere. And, like I said, showed up, blowed up, and knocked out Frank in 41 seconds.
Yeah, amazing performance. Well, kind of when you hit him the first time and he went down, what was going through your head? Just kill?
I don't remember anything.
Really?
Even watching the video, watching it, it's hard to even believe that's me, to be honest. Even now, a month later, yeah, man, because it's just like, it's like, when you're a kid and you always dream of, you're 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, dream of throwing that Hail Mary pass and, catching the end zone or hitting the out of the park home run with a full count, in baseball. That's what I did, man. All my dreams came true in 41 seconds, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, it was a great performance. You talked about taking on multiple lightweights. You ended up with a featherweight matchup, though. What was the intrigue in going down to 45?
Just staying active, man. Honestly, I'm not really thrilled about it. I actually asked for an extension, and they didn't give me an extension. So I just take what they can give me, dude. I'm not a guy that wants to sit on the shelf and wait for opportunity. When opportunity knocks, man, I'm answering the door every time. I very rarely pass up opportunities, especially for fighting. And that's kind of been my downfall too, in the same sense of, throughout my career, my 4 losses, 3 of my 4 losses were short notice fights, because when people come, they want to fight, I show up, whether I'm in shape or out of shape. Fortunately, 4 weeks, I have enough time to, stay in shape and get my weight low. And, but yeah, man, when the opportunity knocks, I answer the door.
No, for sure. Definitely. You can't, what was it? A couple hours? Realistically, what was it? Like 60 hours that you knew that you had to go in there and fight Frank?
It was 9 p.m. on Wednesday night. And then, all day on Thursday, I planned on starting cutting weight at like 12 noon the next day, but my medicals were behind. So I need from 9 p.m. to 5 p.m. I was bouncing around to all the doctors. I had to get a physical. I had to get EKG. I had to do blood work.
And that's a lot of stuff you guys got to do. Some people who don't fight might not be, understanding the situation, but having to go and get all your medicals last minute is a big pain in the ass.
Yeah, definitely. I had to go to an eye doctor. I don't know if you ever had your eyes dilated before.
Dilated, yeah.
Can't really see for, almost an hour. And then I was done about 5 o'clock. I remember I came in, I went home, got all my shit, went to the gym at about 7, 8 o'clock. And then Dennis Davis and Roman Isbell were with me till about 3 o'clock in the morning, cutting weight.
And then on top of that, you had to deal with all the extra COVID-19 tests and all that other stuff. Now, with it, the whole COVID-19 thing, do you think that kind of helped you a little bit because, it's a situation where you are local. They were in Vegas for, 4 or 5 fights in a row. Is that something that kind of played in the factor of, hey, let's get Justin in here now?
Yeah, I hate to say the reason I got into the UFC was because of the, COVID-19, because I don't believe that,
No, definitely talented, and I think you definitely proved that in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, so I think it did have a play to it. Yeah, of course. I live 2 miles away from the Apex. So, when they called, this is in my hometown. I knew Frank was traveling. I knew, he's a bigger guy. And, so, yeah, to answer your story, I think it played a little bit, but I think it was inevitable. I was going to get my shot inevitably.
And I think if anyone knows you, they know that obviously you stay ready. You're a head coach or one of the coaches for the amateur team at Extreme Couture. I mean, you go with animals every single day at Extreme Couture. What do you think, is next for you? You talked about moving your management team, Iridium. How has that worked out for you?
Man, I couldn't be happier with Jason House and Iridium Sports, man.
I've heard that from everybody that's ever signed with them.
It is just they're the best management company. They're like, I don't know. It's like if the way you think a management company would be is how they are. They have different guys in advertising and like doing podcasts and sponsors. Everybody has their own field, so it's not one guy trying to do it all. Where I feel some of the smaller management companies get overwhelmed because they have one guy trying to handle fights, trying to handle sponsors, trying to handle interviews and podcasts. They got a different guy for everything. If I want to reach out to a sponsor, I hit up one guy. If I want to talk about a fight, I talk to Jason. I can go to the PI. We got a guy based in Vegas, Lance, and I can hit him up and he says, call him anytime, day or night, and he'll help me the best he can, man. It's just an incredible team. And it's not just a team. I almost feel like a family, man. I feel, although, Jason and I have only met, a half dozen times, but I feel like when I see him, it's like, all right, this is like family. You know what I mean? Like I trust him, and I think he's looking out for me, and he's looking out for all his fighters, man. And sometimes we have such a big management company that Frank is managed by Iridium as well.
Yeah.
That will fight, but at the end of the day, it's all business. And Jason isn't rooting for me. He wasn't rooting for Frank. He's just there and doing his job. And when it's all said and done, we all go to the bar and have a couple beers.
Do you think it's almost like a weight lifted off your shoulders to have a team like that behind you?
Oh yeah, incredible. Because prior to working with Iridium, I'm not going to say specific names. I worked with some management companies that didn't get me any fights, didn't get me any sponsors. I've worked with 2 management companies over my pro career since 2013, and I've turned pro in 2013, and I got 0. No, that's not true. It wasn't from a manager. It was, I got my Bellator fight from a friend. It was a management company, but I wasn't signed with them. Tom Berman. But besides that, out of my other 18 fights, I found them all. I found my fight in Hawaii. I found my fight in Scotland. I found my fight in India. It's now going to Iridium. Now they're on top of it. Right now, Ed is hitting me up from Iridium. Our podcast dude, he's texting me right now. And as we're talking, he's sending me a list of the interviews I have going on tomorrow. So
yeah, you've had a lot of interviews too. I've been watching you. You've been all over the place, man. Congratulations on that too. Just getting yourself out there. That's super important for fighters.
I think it's very important, and I love doing it. I love talking, and sometimes I have a big breath, man. So I can talk for a long period of time. So I don't mind it.
No, for sure. Now, with that, it's really disheartening that you've only had a couple of sponsors because especially in 41 seconds, you proved that you are a super exciting fighter.
Yeah, man. And I'm hoping now that, I'm with a good management team. Like I said, I've only been with Iridium for like a couple months now, and they've done more for me in the last 2 months, than all the other management companies I've worked with in the last, 7 years or 8 years. And I couldn't be happier.
Just speaks volumes to the professionalism that they have over there at Iridium.
It's the most professional organization by far, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. For you, you had that $50,000, man. What'd you spend it on?
I just cleared all my debt, man, and I haven't gotten paid it yet. But basically, I just took my fight purse, I cleared my debt, and I'm just gonna put it away for a rainy day, man. It's I'm very frugal in my spending. I live a very casual, slow lifestyle. I have everything I want. I have everything I need. So I'm just gonna put that away for a rainy day. Maybe put 30 grand in a 401k or something.
Now
Nothing.
you went out to nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
You know, buying a Ferrari.
Nah, not this fight
You went
first.
you went back home to Michigan. How was that, man? How was the warmth and welcoming that you got?
It was incredible. You know, there's a local bar in the middle of our town called Hamlin Pub, and I got there on Friday, and then Saturday, man, they did this little like get together thing, even with all the COVID and just the overwhelming support, overwhelming love, and just to know that I've inspired as many people as I have, and I think that's probably what makes me feel the best is all the people that I've inspired. You know, I came from a small town. You know, I graduated with 100 people in my class, and
You were the runner-up for your state championship in wrestling, correct?
as a team, I think I took fourth or fifth as an individual my senior year.
And that's huge, especially somebody coming from a small city.
Sure, yeah. Richmond has a very, very strong wrestling program, and you know when I faced Drakkar in this, it was the semifinals. He was 55-0, and I was 58-0, and
Wow.
it just I think it's going to lead. So you know, in a year or two, that when we fight, there will be a good backstory to it.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. The Drakkar Close matchup. Is that something that's kind of like just stuck in the bad taste in your mouth?
Yeah, I just want to pay him back, you know, for, you know, I worked really hard to become a state champion in wrestling, and to lose the way I did was kind of disheartening, and I'm not taking anything away from him. He's a stud fighter. He's a stud wrestler. But I think it's a great storyline, and, you know, how many chances do you get to say, you know, somebody, you know, like, I mean, if you played any sports in high school, you know, they're always that one team that beats you. What if you could say in 20 years you get to face that team
Mission
again?
Viejo High School?
Yeah, like high school rivalry almost. So I'm super excited about it, and I think me and Drakkar running it back will be a great fight in the next couple of years.
How do you see that playing out?
Man, I think I mean, he's so athletic.
You guys are very exciting fighters.
I don't see it going the distance. I'll tell you that. You know, as I talked to Drakkar a couple times. You know, we've run into each other a couple times. He's invited me to go out to Phoenix and train with him, and I've invited him to come here and train. You know, we both really don't have any interest in wrestling anymore. We just want to stand and bang, man, and try and knock people out. My wrestling's secondary. You know, I use my wrestling for defense, or you know, if I'm hurt, I'll use it in that case too. But overall, I want exciting fights. You know, and that's what I've tried to tell everybody is, you know, people are, oh, well, you're wrestling. Is I'll wrestle when I have to. I'm not saying I won't wrestle, but my first and foremost, I want to knock you out. I don't put my hands on your face and watch you fall.
Yeah, no, I've had the pleasure of actually watching you be able to teach an amateur class, and definitely the way you teach your kids too is you love to stand and bang, and you can tell that in your teachings.
Absolutely, yeah. It's it just, you know, it creates for exciting fights, man. Nobody wants to watch boring lay down fights, especially the casual fan that doesn't really know anything about grappling. So
now, for you with the Gavin Tucker fight, how do you see it playing out?
Well, you know, I see this. You know, it's going to dictate, you know, what he wants to do. You know, this fight has potential fight of the night written all over it, or another performance of the night all over it, because he's so dynamic and he's so fast. He's going to hit me. I've already expected. It's not, oh, are you going to try? Oh, I'm going to try not to get hit. But I mean, he's just so fast and accurate. I mean, he's going to hit me. But with that being said, I'm going to hit him too. I see the fight coming out. I think that, you know, he's going to be really active in the first. I think he's going to try and wrestle me. I just have this feeling, you know, watching his last fight, he likes that snatch single, and that's fine. You know, if he wants to wrestle, we can go into my college wrestling days, and we can play that way. But I'd like to stand and bang with him, you know, and you know, see who falls down first, man. I'm fighting for wins, but I'm also fighting for performance bonuses now, man. I want that $50K. So whatever you know can get me that extra cash at the end of the day. That's how I want the fight to go.
Yeah, an extra paycheck is always nice.
You can't cry.
That win bonus is nice, but I mean, an extra 50 on top of it, I'll take it.
Damn right.
Now, do you have a prediction for this fight?
You know,
besides violence.
You know, I don't expect this to go to decision. Now, the only way I see this going to decision is if he wants to play patty cake on the outside and, you know, stick and run. But honestly, I see this fight getting finished within 2 rounds. You know, I think, I mean, he's a very inside, you know, we have the same attributes, size wise. I think he's a little bit faster than me. I think I'm a little bit stronger than him. So that's kind of negate each other. So, you know, I don't see this fight going past 2 rounds.
Now, with the whole lockdown, COVID-19, everything, how is training over there at Extreme Couture right now? Are you able to get bodies in there right now, or is it kind of slow?
No, it's the gym is flourishing right now, for at least for the pro fighters.
Business as usual.
Business as usual, man. You know, and I'm being very particular about my partners, you know, during this camp because it's short notice, and you know the weight and the dieting. You know, I'm cramming an 8-week diet into 4 weeks, so I'm very particular about my partners, and I have a great core of guys. Brian Caraway, Roman Isbell, Dennis Davis coming in, Carol Rowe, TJ Alarmy, who's fighting on Dana White Contender Series the following week. All these guys are helping me get ready, and I trust them. And I know they're not going to try to hurt me or cut me or anything. And Noad Lathat, all these guys are. I got a good core group of guys to get ready for this fight.
Now, do you have anybody helping you with your weight cut? Are you using any like meal plans or anything like that?
Yeah, Evolve. It's called Evolve Nutrition. Again, through Iridium, hooked it up. They're sending me meals, that I'll eat one of their meals a day, and then I'll have a protein shake for dinner basically. And the weight's coming off, man. When I started dieting last week, or when I got the call, I was 178 pounds, and today I woke up at like 166.
Oh, so wow, it's really coming off then.
It's coming off, man. But keep in mind, I'm putting in a lot of work. I'm putting in, a minimum 3 hours a day, but up to 4.5 hours a day of training. And I don't mean it's all not 4 hours straight of hard training intensity, but jogging, doing light mitts, doing hard mitts, wrestling, doing drills, shit like that. Just got to keep those calories burning throughout the day. Today is kind of like an off day almost because I'm doing a lot of work at the PI today for some recovery stuff. But yeah, man, weight's coming off. I think I'm going to be a monster 45er. I know Gavin's fought some tough, strong, tall guys, and he fought Sam Silka, which I feel that I'm a better version of Sam. We both have basically the same game plan, but I'm not going to back down as much as Sam did. So we'll see what happens.
Now, being right next to the PI, does that help with you? Do you get to go there a lot? I mean, you're right down the street, like you said, what, 2 miles?
Yeah, I'm 2 miles from the PI, and unfortunately with this whole COVID thing that I can't get in there as much as I want. Today was the first day since I signed with the UFC that I've been able to get in there because everything's by appointment only. So,
yeah,
mind you that all the fighters in Vegas are making appointments. And, today, I put my appointment in I called them last week and I got my appointment today. So that's
something that you plan on using in the future once all these regulations are kind of lifted.
Oh yeah, for sure. The PI is just, it's just a phenomenal, state-of-the-art art building, state-of-the-art coaches, state-of-the-art nutritionists. It's actually very, very incredible. I think I did a Dexagram today or a Dexa test or something like that. $500,000 machine that we're using today just to check my body fat and so on and so forth.
It must be great to have somebody like the UFC to be able to just put that much money into their fighters.
Yeah, for sure. Well, they need all their best fighters healthy and ready to go at all times, just in case for short notice like this. Not saying I'm at the top of the roster right now, but I'm going to make my way up there. And I think the PI is going to help a lot on the way.
I definitely think you are on the way, sir. You've performed very well against Frank Camacho. Here we go against Gavin Tucker. The future for you, is it 55 or 45?
Hey, man, the future for me is wherever the UFC calls. I wanted this when the opportunity knocks. Like I said, I answer the door, whether it's at 45, 55, or 70.
70? I was going to say 70 next.
I'm a small 50. I'm an average size, maybe to a small 55, or so I'll be really small 70. But if they ever needed a fill in where I could just jump in and just sling some hands, I'm definitely not afraid of the weight. I'm definitely Friday to compete. I have 2 pro fights at 185. So it's not unfamiliar territory, but I like my home at 155, and depending on how this weight cut goes, depending on how everything goes, depending on what the UFC wants me to do as well. If they need me down at featherweight, I'll go to featherweight. If they want me to stay at lightweight, whatever they want is what I'm going to do.
Have they came out as a team and said anything towards you, whether they want you to stay at 45 or 55? Was it their decision to go to 45?
For this fight, yes. I was offered the fight, and because I always said I could make 45 on a long enough camp. And this fight opened up, and they asked if I wanted it. I asked for a week or 2 extension just to get the weight off a little more. They said it's this or nothing, and I'm not going to pass an opportunity.
Take it.
Right.
Yeah, something is way better than nothing.
Exactly.
So, I definitely like this matchup for you. I feel like 45 could be a good home for you. Definitely be a bigger 45er. So it'd be a little different than being you're at middle of the rim 55ers. But at 55, bro, you have a lot of power.
Yeah, I think, I take my length away, and, I might not have the reach, but, my shots when they land, they hurt, man. Like I said, I have the power, of a welterweight, and going down to featherweight. I think I'm really going to start some boys in this division.
No, for sure. Well, I don't want to take too much more of your time. I know you said it's your off day, but before I let you go, I want to give you a quick opportunity to give a shout out to your teammates, sponsors, loved ones, anyone that's really helped you along your MMA journey.
Yeah, just a shout out to, obviously my mom and dad, my coaching staff, Dennis Davis, Roman Isbell, Andrew Jacoby, training partners, Brian Caraway, Noah Lahat, countless. We got Team Iridium, Jason House, Boombox, and Evolve Nutrition. Oh, and Compex, the electric or the muscle stimulation company.
Oh, the guns?
Yes, we got a gun.
Dude,
and
those things are sweet.
Yeah, they just sent me some recovery tools, like a bag of recovery tools, and yeah, I'm really excited because right now I'm pretty fucking sore. I'm actually gonna go use that Theragun on me here in a minute.
Those guns are awesome, man.
Oh, yeah.
All right, brother. Well, like I said, thank you again. We cannot wait for your fight. It is what is it? September 8th? August 8th, sorry.
Yes.
So, what is it? UFC Apex, man. Gavin Tucker, Justin Jaynes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be quick. Do not blink and expect fireworks. Justin, thank you for your time, man, and we can't wait to have you back on again.
Hey, thanks, man. Anytime, just shoot me a message, dude.
Will do, brother. Have a good one.